Hey Vikings fans, this is team reporter Eric Smith here at TCO Performance Center. The 2022 NFL Draft is quickly approaching, and the Vikings, of course, have pick number 12 in the first round. Who is Minnesota going to take on Thursday night? We asked some local beat reporters to find out. All right, we are here with Andrew Kramer of the Star-Tribune. And Andrew, you are on the clock at number 12 with the Vikings. Who will Minnesota take in the first round on Thursday night?
Well, I think they're going to need just one more cornerback, even though Mike Zimmer and the Minnesota Vikings have taken on a new page, turned a new page. I really think it's going to be LSU's Derek Stingley Jr. He was one of the best cornerbacks in 2019 as a freshman. Hasn't lived up to that the past couple years, but with Durante Jones coming back to Minnesota, having just coached that group at LSU as the defensive coordinator, I could see them kind of taking a chance on him, knowing him, having some deep knowledge of what he can do not only as a player, but what he does behind the scenes as well. And if this kid's healthy and lives up to his potential, he could be the number one corner in this draft class.
We are now joined by HOBIE Artigue of Fox 9. And HOBIE, pick number 12 on Thursday night in the first round. Who are the Vikings going to take?
I think that the Vikings go with Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU because they are in need at cornerback. That's kind of the position of need that the Vikings, everyone's kind of saying that's the spot that they need to address. But my take is pair him with Patrick Peterson, another guy who is from LSU, played about a decade ago. That fraternity amongst defensive backs from that university is very tight. To have him mentor another young guy, kind of like he did with Tyrann Mathieu in Arizona for all those years, I think that could pay dividends both for Stingley and for the Vikings defense as a whole. The question is he going to be at that number 12 spot? Will he go? Will he not? If he is gone, I look for the Vikings to address that defensive line, maybe taking Jordan Davis out of Georgia or George Karlaftis out of Purdue.
We have the one, the only Chris Thomason of the St. Paul Pioneer Press. And Chris, you are on the clock at number 12 with the Vikings. Who is Minnesota going to take in the first round on Thursday night?
So I don't get 10 minutes on the clock to think about it? I guess not. Then I'm going to go with Trent McDuffie of Washington. I think he'll be the best cornerback available at 12 because I think Sauce Gardner and Derek Stingley Jr. will both be gone by then. And he's a little bit undersized, but tough, aggressive guy, and I think he'd be a good fit with the Vikings. And hey, he already wears purple in Washington.
Well, we have to give a proper reintroduction to ESPN's Kevin Seifert, who is back on the Vikings beat. Welcome back. And you're here for the draft. Vikings pick at number 12 on Thursday night. Who do you think Minnesota will take in the first round?
Getting right to business right away. No, I think sometimes we can overthink these things, and you look at their roster and you look at the players who are going to be available, and I think if LSU's Derek Stingley is there, I don't see how they can possibly pass up on him. We'll see what their scouting reports and what their decision is, but I would think that's the player that I would certainly focus on as that pick comes up.
All right, let's welcome Matthew Coller of Purple Insider to the segment. Matt, you are on the clock with the Vikings at pick number 12. Who do you think Minnesota's going to take?
Well, I think that they're going to surprise everyone. And most of the mock drafts have them going defense, but I think they're going to add another wide receiver and go with Chris Olave out of Ohio State. I mean, remember, some of the greatest offenses ever from this franchise had Jake Reed as the number 3 wide receiver along with Randy Moss and Chris Carter. Try to recreate that with Kevin O'Connell as your head coach and lean into the offense of this team by picking Chris Olave.
Let's welcome in Ben Gessling of the Star-Tribune. And Ben, the Vikings have the 12th overall pick in the first round. Who do you think Minnesota will take?
Well, I'm sure it's been a popular answer. I'm going to be boring here. I'm going to say Derek Stingley from LSU. Certainly, corner is the big position of need. Stingley, I've heard is a name the Vikings like. Certainly, if he's there, I think that's going to be the question. But if he's there, I think he's a guy that you take, plug him in right away. They need somebody that can play at that position now, and then they need some help there for the future. So if Stingley is there, I think he's the pick at number 12.
Okay, you have heard from our panel, and cornerback is the most popular pick with 5 players at that position and a wide receiver, but it feels like defense is the flavor right now for Minnesota in the first round. Who are the Vikings going to take? We'll find out on Thursday night.